It's 12:14 in the morning, and what is old man Diecast doing? Boom, waxing cars. Why, you might ask? Well, let's get into that and I'll tell you.
Wax on, wax off.
Now, I just got done waxing all of these cars now, not the front row, not the Pickford's 200-ton hauler, and not the other hauler. I'm just going to give them a little soap and water bath and dry them off real good, because I really don't want to mess them up or do anything to them. Then we'll probably put a coat of wax on them, but I'm not going to be using, you don't use any cleaners on anything like this, and just unless it's just filthy. And then still, you just want to use soap and water, and then you get it off the car as quick as you can. But let's get over here. I'm going to show you what I use, tell you why I do it, and all that stuff. Now, if you look at this car, this is a Vauxhall Victor Estate car from Lesney. You can see it's got a lot of dirt and stuff on it. This could stand a warm soap and water bath and then a good waxing. But if you look at this one, it's a nice looking truck and everything. Looks like it's shining pretty good, right? But you can see dirt and stuff in the bed of the truck. That's got to be cleaned out. And the color on it's just a little dull looking. I'm hoping that picks up in the camera. It's just a little dull looking. Same way with this car. I mean, it looks good. The color looks outstanding and everything. But I strongly believe that we can do a lot better than that. And we're going to. Nice Camaro. Looks really good and shiny, right? Start turning them a little slower so you can see. And I'm not worried about showing you what I'm working on, because you'll see the video where I got these before this video comes out. Another Matchbox. I love pickup trucks, old pickup trucks, man. And then we have this truck, got the flames on it, F-150, really cool truck, opening hood, everything. But I believe we can make these look 100% better. So let me show you what we're using. All you need is some kind of rag. I'm using an old utilitarian microfiber towel. And then you need some kind of wax. Doesn't matter what kind, your favorite kind that you use, because you know what you like to put on. You know how easy it goes on, how easy it comes off. But what I have found is Lithium Auto Products. Their stuff goes on so freaking easy and comes off even easier and leaves an incredible shine. I kid you not. You'll see it whenever I do this. Hopefully it'll come through in the camera. But I'm using their gloss sauce just because it's a blend, but it has really fine carnauba in it. And if you don't know carnauba, it's not real durable, but that's where you get your glossy shines from. Anytime you see something really glossy, it's got carnauba in it, or had carnauba wax put on it. But the reason I wax the cars and clean the cars, there's several reasons, okay? Number one, let's get one of these over here, like this one. We've got these cars, we sit here, we handle them, we look at them, right? We touch them, we roll them, we take them apart, we customize them, we give them custom paint jobs, and you know, we put decals on them, tampos, whatever you want to call them. All that stuff needs to be protected, okay? I mean, you know, this stuff will last a long time the way it is, but if we add that layer of protection to it, it just makes it that much better. It makes it last that much longer, and sitting up in our cases and stuff, it makes them all look so much more professionally done, rather than just taking one that you just rolled through the mud pit in the backyard and stuck up in the case, right? So protection of what you have, number one, is the number one thing. Number two thing is, like I alluded to, we put custom paint job stuff on this. Like if you look at this has a gold metal flake in it, and that's a really nice paint job. That's a premium type car paint job. Whereas if you look at this one, not so much a premium, but back in the day when this car came out, I'm sure it's the best that they had. So protect a painted car, number one. Number two, protect the custom paints and the tampos and stickers on the other cars. Now I'm going to show you before and after on all of these. I'm going to sit here, I'm going to put the wax on them and let it sit, right? Now if you're doing an old car, by all means test an area to make sure it's not going to damage the paint on the car. If it's a new car, you don't have to worry about it. But I'll start with this one. Now I shook it up real good. I'm just going to put a little dab on my finger because it doesn't take much to coat a whole car, right? A little bit more than that. Come on, you. Whoa, not that much. That's enough for 10 cars. Put it back in there. We'll get that in just a second. That's enough for 3 cars. We'll just wipe it on, right? And you'll see what I'm talking about. And also, you see how scratched and dirty looking that windshield is? Watch this. You can't hurt it by putting wax on it. Matter of fact, you could actually take a very, very soft bristle brush, toothbrush, and go over that glass and work it in all them cracks and stuff, and you'll be amazed at how it comes out. Take the excess, go down the other side. And as long as you're using a modern liquid wax, you don't have to worry about that white residue. I mean, you can go back with that soft bristle brush and hit it if you want to, but you really don't have to worry about it like you do with the old paste waxes of the day. You know how if you've ever waxed a car, inevitably it always leaves that white residue and all the cracks of the hood, the doors, trim panels, just everything. But you can see that I'm not working hard. I'm not putting a lot of effort into it. I'm not rubbing like the days of the turtle wax and all that stuff. I'm just lightly rubbing it on here. And this, if this was a car that I would have just painted, you know, you have to give it, you know, a couple weeks. Theoretically, if you're using automotive paint, you're supposed to wait a couple weeks to allow the gases and stuff from the paint and the chemicals they use for mixing and everything to evaporate out of it. See, there's 2 cars that fast, and I'm not working hard at all. Now let's get this Camaro. Here you can see how it looks before we start. It's not bad, it really is not. But I grabbed a couple different colors and body styles and ages just so you could see how easy this is. Anywhere where it's painted, has stickers, has tampos, glass, anything, it just makes it look so much nicer. But you can see because of the color I've got, it looks like I've got a pretty good bit on there. So I'm just going to take my finger and swipe it to the side and take some of that excess off and move on to the next one, which is this one. Okay, get a little bit more on my finger. Same thing. I'm not being careful of getting it in cracks. I'm not doing anything different to any of these cars. I'm not worried about if it gets in the cracks. As you can see, I just throwed it on there. I'm taking my finger and working it in every nook and cranny that I can, because I will take the rag and get into these nooks and crevices the best I can to get dirt and excess wax and stuff like that out, because it's actually the buffing process with this wax that makes the cars really shine. But you don't have to be gentle, you don't have to worry about it. Just rub it on anywhere you want it, anywhere it's painted. I mean, you can put this on plastic even. You can put this on, if you've got a metal base that you've cleaned or that it is clean, you can actually put it on there, and it will prevent it from tarnishing as you handle it, and it sits over time. It will actually prevent it from messing it up, making it look dirty and all that stuff again. See, I just throw it everywhere, anywhere where there's paint. I don't care. I just throw it on there. And I'm sorry if I'm shaking you around too much, but I'm really not watching what I'm doing. I'm just going to town on all these. And yep, see, that one's got too much, so I'm going to take some of that. And that's really enough for this whole car. So it does not take but a dot to do a whole car. Go right down the side and get it on the wheels. You can get it on everything. But like I said, if this was a painted car, I mean a metal base, God, then you could actually put it on the metal base. Make sure I got the whole thing coated. And that's really all there is to doing it. I mean, you just let it sit for the amount of time it says to let them sit. you treat these the same as you would a real car, right? And this one, all you gotta do is just let it haze over and you're done, which typically takes about 5 minutes. So we'll be back in a minute.
5 minutes later.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with the first 2 cars that I did because they're dry. The other ones are still drying, as you can see. But I'm not gonna do anything tricky. It might shake the camera a little bit, but all you do is you just buff it off, right? It is the buffing process that gives it the shine. I mean, look at how much better that looks already. All that dirt's gone. And you remember how the windshield looked on this. Go ahead and get the whole thing. Look how much better that windshield looks now in that hood. I mean, just look at how much better that top looks compared to how it did look. I'm just going to take the whole thing now and just buff it off. You remember how that side looked? Look at that. It had all that dirt and crap on it. Look at that. How much better it looks. You know, a lot of the professional builders on YouTube and everything will actually take their Dremel and put a buffing pad on their Dremel. And once they customize the car and everything, and they paint it and go through all that trouble, they will actually buff the finish to a shine like you wouldn't believe. Number one, for the video, to make the paint jobs look really, really good, which they do. They do a great job on their paint jobs. I hope I can get as good as them one day. But it just makes them look so much better. A dirty car compared to a clean car, there's no, no difference. Because look at how much better that thing looks now. And look at the gloss on it. All the dirt's gone. And this is not even a cleaner wax. This is just a wax. So all it is a carnauba wax. But look how much better that little car looks now. Now here's the blue truck. The first one that I did. I'm going to take my towel and go inside of the bed and try to get as much of that dust and stuff as I can out. Just to show you how easy and quick cleaning and waxing a car can go. I mean, look how much better it looks already. Now we just do the same thing. Just buff it off. I mean, look at how good the top of that truck looks now. And this particular wax, after it sets up for a while, that haze that you see just a little bit on there will actually go away, and that joker will shine like it's nobody's business. It's like the longer this stuff sits, the glossier it gets. And I'll show you one that I did here in just a few minutes ago, and it's been sitting while I did these cars, and I can sit here and almost watch it get glossier and glossier. And you think I'm crazy, but I'll show you here in just a second. Oops, sorry about that. But to get in these areas, like I told you, I was just cramming it and everything. Just take your towel and wad it up into a point and just get in there any kind of way you can. See? It's like any other thing that we do in the diecast community. We do the same thing to these that we do to real cars. It's just smaller, on a smaller scale. See how much better that looks now compared to what it started as? I mean, look at that. Trying to unfold my cloth. I'll do the other side real quick. And your cars can look as good as you want them to, and they can be as detailed. And that's one of the things now, taking paint markers and stuff and detailing cars. Once they come out, they're painting the tail lights and all that. You can do the same thing with how you clean it, how you keep it, Got some on that back window I need to get out. There we go. Set that over to the side. I'm going to bring it back in a minute and show you. I'm going to let it sit there and get glossier, as I said. Let's grab this one next, a different tone of blue. You can see the wax hazed over on there. Now we're just going to buff it off. You see how quick it comes off. And look how much better it looks already. But I do this to all my cars. If they come in loose, if somebody's generous enough to take the time to donate it, to the channel, then I need to take my time and preserve it the best I can. That's called being a good steward, you know. I mean, you don't even have to be good, but or try to be classified as good, but just, you know, somebody took the time to send you something, you want to be respectful and take care of it the best you can. I mean, just look how much better that thing looks. Oh my goodness. We just owe it to the people that are super kind, that does stuff for us. You know, if everybody would treat everybody like that in the real world, not just in the Diecast community, the world would be such a better place. I mean, it really would. People are so open to helping each other out. If you need something and you can't find it, 9 times out of 10, somebody's going to offer it up. I mean, I've had people say, well, I found it, I'll be more glad to send it to you. And I'm like, well, you know, number one, I don't like asking for things. Number two, give me a little while and let me see if I can find it. And then lo and behold, a couple days it shows up at my door because they wanted me to have it. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that. I got a little bit right in there that's not dry, so I'm gonna get a Q-tip. Be right back. Alright, I'm back. Now, you would think that a Q-tip, with it being rough, would scratch paint. I actually use Q-tips when I detail cars to get around the emblems and stuff. You know, on the fenders and stuff. You can actually apply wax with a Q-tip. Look how quickly, how easily it got all that built up out of there. I hope you can see that. See if there's any on the other side. I don't see any, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. But you can actually use a Q-tip to polish stuff because it's made out of cotton. Cotton generally will not scratch a car or scratch paint. Now let's do this red. Enough with the blues and stuff. Let's do something bright and vibrant. Look at that. Holy moly. It just brings out the color so much better. It makes the colors pop. Makes them more vibrant. Makes them more deep. Makes them richer. Just makes everything about the car look good. I didn't even notice it had an opening tailgate. I'm not going to force it. I don't want to open all the way, but it does open. That's cool. I didn't know that. This one has a lot of nooks and crannies where I put the wax, so I'm going to use a Q-tip on it to get as much of it off as I can. Okay. Hit those same nooks and crannies and see how quick that's gone. Get there. There. And then I really coated the bed good, so like I said, it doesn't hurt anything. It doesn't scratch the paint. Get in with the Q-tip and go right around that bad boy. And look how shiny that red is now. And I'll set it over here with the blue one I did a minute ago, and I'll show you them again here in just a minute. You could see which one I'm leaving for last. Now here's like a metal flake gray. You can actually see the dullness that the wax put on it. Now watch how it takes it off. And I honestly, you saw how easily I put it on. The way I put it on is the same way I'm taking it off, so just some gentle wiping. That's all I'm doing. I am not bearing down. I'm not using a lot of speed. I'm not using a lot of muscle, pressure, nothing. I'm just wiping it off, and look at the shine on that bad boy. Look how that metal flake comes through now. Oh man. I mean, that bad boy just pops now. I mean, just look at the side of that. And then of course you saw the top. This car begs for some detailing too. I mean, it's a really cool car. I like it a lot. The only thing they really detailed, they put the stickers right there, the Grand National stickers, and they did the turn signals. No brake lights, no headlights, no grill, no nothing. So I'm actually thinking about detailing this one. Thinking about it. I don't know for certain just yet, because this one has a hidden feature. And I'll go ahead and show you what that is now. Watch this. And get it, do it right. Boom. There's the twin turbos. Look at that. Oh man. Turbo there, turbo there. That is super cool, but all this just begs to be detailed. I want to, and then I don't want to, because you know this car was gifted to me and everything, and I want to keep it looking good. That's why I'm taking the time to wax it and everything. So, you know, it's kind of one of the, and I know you don't mind because it's now mine. I can do what I want to with it, but you know, somebody's nice enough to give you something. Why you want to go fiddling with it? Unless they tell you specifically to, or they give you multiples, you know. Like if I had several of these, sure I'd do one. But since I have one, I really don't think I'll be doing it. But there's that one. Now let's look at this bad boy. You saw how this color looked before. You saw how it just looked. So let's see how it looks after a little slight buff. And I just like to go sideways over the glass. I like to try to go the longest part of any car, whether it's die-cast or real. Since the glass is long side to side, I do it like that. And the roof is square just about, so it really doesn't matter. Trunk's about the same way. But then you get back up to the hood, right? Long ways. And of course, the side is self-explanatory. So I'm just going to do it like this. Hold it and polish it real quick. And I'm trying not to let you see much of it because I want you to see, because this color is gorgeous. I love this color. Here we go. Look at that. That is just a beautiful Camaro right there. I'd love to own one of these in real life. I actually wish I had the money to own one of each generation. I've got a fourth and a fifth. I need the first three, and I'm not really concerned with the new one, considered the 6th gen. I'm really not concerned with it. I like to have the first, second, and third to add to the ones I already have. But look how that color just pops now. That will look sharp sitting up on my shelf. But you remember the first blue truck that I did? Like I told you, it's almost like you can sit there and watch it get glossier. Look at how this paint come out. I mean, just look at that. Right? That thing looks so good now. And here's the red truck. Got some stuff in the paint there. I don't know if that's from the factory or if it's a scratch or what. But look how good that thing looks now. Almost has ghost flames on it. But here's the car I was talking about a minute ago. When we first started. Look how shiny this joker is now. And I did the same exact process on it that you just saw me do on these cars. Same exact thing. I mean, the car wasn't beat up or anything to start with. It was in nice shape. But it just needed that next step, the cleaning. And look at how that bad boy turned out. It's like it's wet sitting there. It literally looks wet. But I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, gals, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, because, you know, we spend a lot of time hunting these cars, collecting these cars. People donate some older cars, you know, to other people. People have older cars that they have in their collection. And, you know, you want to protect them. Like this one has a metal base. So I'm going to go back and do the metal base. I'm going to put some wax on it and then buff it off. But, you know, we don't want to destroy these things because, you know, we pay hard-earned money, our parents pay hard-earned money, and, you know, we want to keep them looking good as long as they can. But just look how good that red looks. These other cars will do the same thing. I mean, this Joker started off like this, and it just got glossier and glossier. But doesn't matter what wax you use, just take some time, one or two at a time. I'm sitting here doing these in between editing videos, replying to comments, and watching videos that people just released. So let's see what time it is now. How long did it take me to do this video? Well, there you go, 12:47. That's me polishing all these cars. That's me, turn that light back on. That's me polishing all the cars, talking to you, buffing all the cars, letting them sit for the proper amount of time and everything. That's not bad. Roughly 30 minutes, I think it was. So until next time, hope this helps. Hope it pointed out, you know, why we do things that we do, and why you need to do things that we do, and so on. So until next time, I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you all so very much for watching.